And we're back from the break. As Graham is still out having smoke, we're going to resume with the cabin rather than with the autopsy. So
Yes.
back inside the cabin.
All right. So I
Yeah.
just witnessed Rami,
You just got the explanation.
gurgle and
Yeah, you got the gurgling, horrible pain of Rami, and then the unhelpful explanation from old lady Priscilla.
I'm going to let Priscilla, make sure Rami doesn't bite her own tongue out, and I'm going to go get some water.
All right. The water from the tap is actually kind of not super tasty. It kind of tastes a little bit like filtered, lake water, which probably has something to do with the fact that you're in a cabin next to the lake.
I'll pour that out, and I'll just mutter to myself, I didn't dig the well deep enough, and I'll go to my luggage and dig through it and get my own canteen.
Okay. Your canteens are your canteens there. It's nice and fine, and you probably have, all about boiling water to purify it. And it does appear like they have the ability to do that just fine based on the medical boiling water.
Oh yeah, that's a demonstration for me. Okay, I'll go back to Rami and give her a drink.
Okay. And while you're
Be
doing
gracious,
that small
please.
act of humanity, and Priscilla, are you making some tea? Nothing as soon as burns like tea.
Yes.
So outside, Vinny and Murphy and James have managed to kind of fish the fully corpseified body outside before locking the other one in. The body.
He's real squirrely for having few arrows in him.
Yeah.
James looks like he's about to be sick. It's like, oh right, yeah. So this one here kind of got blown open. Do you think you'll be able to figure out, what happened to it that killed it?
I'm gonna pull out my med bag of tricks here and start suiting up for an autopsy.
All right,
Well-
it's a nice bright outdoor autopsy. So
Yeah. But gloves, breathing mask, whole nine. With any luck, I'll be able to figure out what sort of damage you did, because I know when it stopped moving. If I examine where all the pellets punctured, which should be pretty easy, I'll be able to determine
makes
pretty
sense.
much what killed it.
I guess so. James looks over at Vinny. Hey, Vinny, do you have any sort of medical experience?
Not really.
Oh,
Just know if you stab a guy that's into bleed.
that's yeah, I picked that one up myself. Yeah, not really a doctory type medicine skill, but I get you. Roll me a perception plus medicine, Graham, as you start laying into the body.
Alright, perception medicine. I'm gonna have to pull up my character sheet for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Something you might have done at any point over the last hour.
well, I did, but I have
Just
several
had it
tabs
up,
open.
you know?
Yeah.
You just got roasted.
Without the triage specialty, right?
No, this does not have a triage specialty skill now.
10 on the roll, so a 10 and a 3, which I believe.
That's good.
Is-
No, this was a really easy test, so that's definitely a success.
Alright.
It takes a little bit of work, but you do manage to relatively quickly kind of dig in and get out a couple of the, expose or remove the particularly perforated organs. Of these, most of them are things that you can fairly comfortably say you probably hit with those arrows. But one area that you think that you kind of feel like you missed before, and that definitely took a bit of a beating with that shotgun shell, is the heart, which has been partially shredded.
Well, time to test a new hypothesis. Loading up crossbow. I'm going to try to shoot it in the heart this time.
Okay, make me a heart shot.
Which is
It's your normal skill plus, and this is actually an aim shot, so there's going to be a bit of a difficulty modifier here. Difficulty mod unrelated to the massive fucking rain pouring down on us. Alright, here you go. Body shot. To the heart is -2.
okay. I got a 10 total.
Okay, 10 total. You hit. And the thing instantly slumps.
Well, heart shots. That's what does it.
Well, that's pretty easy, right? I mean, it's got to be easier than the head. I mean, like, the head's... it's got the skull and stuff on it, right? You know? It's like... He kind of taps his forehead. You know, it's got to be harder than the heart, right?
Well, it's easier if you go in between the ribs, a little bit harder if you're trying to get at it through the sternum. There's a lot of armor there, and if you come from the back, it's also easier.
Well,
But it's doable.
well, that's something, right? All right, and hey, we did it. We figured it out, guys. Ah. He looks from
Well, I
Murphy to
mean,
Penny.
Yeah.
You stab something in the heart most of the time, it dies.
Yeah.
You do see its head, though, right?
Yeah, the head has been stabbed and sliced open. This is actually this would actually be the former. This would be Dom, zombie Dom. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, part of its neck had been, or that'd be the one that you autopsied, but part of its neck had been blown open. Its head had been stabbed multiple times. It's like half the neck had been shot open, the other half had been gouged open with several nice stabs.
That's how Dawn
yeah.
wanted to go out too. He wanted to be turned into a horrible monstrosity to attack others and then get like mutilated.
I would like to point out that it also looks like there's been a crossbow bolt removed from its skull. Like,
Well, part of a crossbow bolt. Other parts are lodged in the brain.
I think that was in his will, something about a crossbow.
yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go in and retrieve the arrows.
Yeah, as you do that, James kind of nudges Vicky and says, "You actually knew this guy, right?" He was one of our buddies before.
Hugh.
Yeah.
So
Hello?
he turned into one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Like, he got bit or shot or something. I mean, like, there's a big old. He kind of like pushes, like rubs his neck. You know, big old thing like that on his neck, and suddenly he was like crawling back here and after our blood. Man, I mean, he was such a nice kid too. You know,
No,
was
he
getting
wasn't.
He
So
was
it's
getting
rabies.
He was useful and he was well equipped, but he was kind of an asshole. But he at least didn't try to shoot at me or bite me the first time I met him.
I thought he was nice. What were you saying? The rays?
Rabies.
Rabies.
You know that
Oh
that
my
thing
god,
that
you're
dogs
right. Oh my god, they must have all got rabies. Oh, that's so sad. Wait a
get. I
minute.
mean, it's some weird rabies, but it's rabies.
that
Alright.
makes sense. You ever hear of a rabies case like this though?
Nope.
Marcus comes up behind. Well, sorry to break up the party, but your friend is really. And he looks in and sees the state of things. The absolute state of things, and then them just having this conversation in there, and just like his eyes go wide, and he just sort of stands there.
Oh yeah. At this point, you see not one but two bodies laid open.
I mean, the room is like something out of the fucking Walking Dead.
It's an abattoir, basically, at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I at this point pull out and come out, you know, wiping the crossbow bolts clean and setting them into their own special set, bag. And I look at him. Don't worry, they were dead when they got here.
Yeah, but I usually bury my dead. I don't generally
Do you have a
make
shovel?
sausages out of them.
We don't either. This is an autopsy. I'm a doctor. That
Tim.
was alive until I shot it in the heart. No,
This looks
15
less like an
seconds ago.
autopsy and more like some shit vegans show you to trying to get you to not eat meat anymore.
you obviously haven't seen any autopsies. I'm gonna walk back to the thing. But what were you saying about somebody when you got here?
Your friend, Rami, her name was something like that. She, well, the old lass in there poured some water. It's a long story, but she's just not doing so well.
That old Betty, she wouldn't hurt a fly.
Not on purpose. You see, Murphy's eyes go wide in a state of panic, and he runs towards the cabin.
As Murphy runs off, James calls out from, "You're just being cynical about all our friends, aren't you?"
No, I'm not.
Inside the cabin. Priscilla, what have you been up to?
I'm giving old Romy, some tea and telling her some stories of the war.
Robbie, the horrible she-devil is pushing more hot water towards your face.
Oh no, I'm letting her hold it this time.
Okay.
I'm just like weakly holding it, like shivering as I do. Yeah. As I just slowly sip the tea and listen.
With the side of your mouth that isn't, you know.
Yeah, but the side of the mouth that is burned. Of course.
Yeah, Murphy, you notice as you kind of come in, it looks pretty tranquil, but there's a large, angry red mark on Rami's cheek.
And the bandages look weird.
And the badge looks a little bit off.
Oh, welcome back.
All right. Let me guess. The infection had started smelling like it was coming back.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you try to do to her?
I disinfected it using these and then used some alcohol to top it off. And now
Polypropyl or ethanol?
Yes.
Ethanol. Gotcha. I'm gonna pull out my bag again.
You do find that she has managed to clean out the wound, though the infection appears not to have been particularly stalled.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put the tea down so it doesn't interfere with everything, and then fully lay down again.
Yeah. Roll me a Graham. You roll me a perception plus medicine.
Okay. Perception is 3, so that brings it up to 9. Plus medicine is a 5, so that brings it
and that
to
plus
Not
2
really
because Priscilla already kind of laid the groundwork here in clearing out the infected area and allowing you to get a cleaner view of it.
Okay. What do I see?
It's
What
bad.
kind of infection is it?
It's not good. It looks
Bacterial, fungal?
it looks kind of fungal. It whatever got into the wound from the saliva of the dead creature, it looks a little bit like gangrene, but not like any case of gangrene you've ever read about. You have seen your own, wound, and it is not this bad. It's not this bad. Like it's relatively clean. You're not sure whether or not this is just something that came about from the actual bite itself, or the extent of the lacerations, or possibly just a local infection. But whatever it is, something has gotten into this wound, and it's going bad.
Alright, it looks... I'm going to sit down. Doctor demeanor. Yeah.
Alright.
We might have to operate to remove the infected flesh.
Operates?
Yep.
What is the chances I'll be fine after it?
Well, with a proper operation, something that I am quite good at. This is triage operations.
Yeah,
So
this is your specialty.
Yeah.
Ah.
You should heal fine as long as you're able to stay in bed and eat lots of honey-filled things because that's an antimicrobial, and it tastes good. You should be fine after that. But if
Ooh,
I
I
remove
can help too.
yeah.
I just don't want to deplete all of your resources just for one bite.
Well, I think we can all do without honey on our biscuits for a few weeks, if it means curing you, whatever this is.
Yeah, you should be
Okay.
fine.
Okay
And
then.
also, trust me, you're gonna need some. Trust me, there will be some resources that will be easy to come by because of the population decline.
Alright then, I'll trust you on this. She slowly holds out her hand weakly.
Yeah, I'll take it. Give it a light squeeze. We'll get someplace ready for that.
Priscilla, as you actually do have some training in this, you will be able to assist Murphy as a nurse and in helping to prepare a area to be.
I can do like most of the lifting and moving if there needs to be like a space cleared or a table moved or something.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is there a non-desiccated shed?
There is not. There is a single shed, and it is horrifying.
Okay.
Where
Is
are all
there
the
a
rooms?
room that is not being used for much in the cabin?
You can basically clear out one of the bedrooms long enough that, at the very least, it'll be out of the way.
Okay. In which case, I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'll do that, and I'll move the mattress out essentially. Lay down some wooden boards and stuff like that for the actual triage thing, and I'll essentially lay her on, and then put a sheet over it that I can turn into a stretcher when I'm done.
All right. You and Priscilla will be in charge of the surgery, and as you two kind of prepare your final preparation, James takes let's see, Vinny and Marcus out of the surgery room so that they won't get in the way, and as much to distract himself as to help keep their minds off it. Asks, so you two, how did you two meet each other?
Well, we just met each other on the road. The better question is how. Well, there are a lot of people staying here. You own this place, right?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, hi, I'm the owner.
Well, how many bedrooms you got here?
Well, discounting the surgery room, one.
So, we all bunking on the floor tonight? I mean, we should maybe figure out where we're gonna sleep.
He looks over.
It's raining but it's raining balls out there.
It's pretty bad. He looks over at Vinny. Do you mind sleeping on the floor, or at least? Actually, do you know anything about, I don't know, making beds?
What do I look like, a carpenter?
I
No.
don't know.
My character
mean-
does.
Fix an engine? Sure. But make a bed? Nah. Speaking of which, you got a basement around here?
We have a small cellar.
Hmm.
Pantry kind of thing.
Is that like unhygienic, keeping your food in the ground?
He kind of shrugs.
Well, it keeps it cold. That's usually why people store shit in cellars.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons.
Anyway, can we see this cellar?
Oh, sure.
I want to make sure it's a place to sleep in.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea. Here, come on. There's not exactly like a trap door or anything, but there's a way in from the from just around the side of the cabin. He leads you both outside in the rain, but you quickly are able to get into this small cellar area, which is largely packed. It's got some some food in here, some water. There's also there's like a machine. There's a bit of machinery, like a pump system for a pumping and.
Is there lighting and stuff?
Yes, there's lighting. It's not great lighting. It's kind of more utilitarian than comfortable, but
Okay. There's a pump station under this cabin?
not like a pump, but like a small, like pumping and filtering.
Oh,
thing
like
for
okay, like a water tank.
yeah, because the lake is literally right like a couple feet to the side.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how they're getting the water in. But it looks large enough that you could at least fit 2 people comfortably in here, 3 if they're willing to kind of get a bit cozy.
All right.
Yeah, that's something worse.
And my bedroom is, I could get 2 people in there easy. And then there's the main room. We could get 2 people in there.
Oh, all right. Just wanted to make sure. I mean,
Well,
pretty
it's-
dreadful out there.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Don't get me wrong, but don't really have a lot of space to work with, and as you can imagine, I don't really like the idea of anyone sleeping out in the cars. And there's still one out. There's still one out there, but I wouldn't say I'd trust it as a secure place to sleep.
Yeah. Well, we should go check on the surgery and see how that's going.
All right. Up in the surgical ward, Nurse Priscilla has, you've been changed into your cleaner, your cleanest dress and a pair of sort of like evening. There's kind of like evening gloves. They're not like they're kind of fanciful, but they're relatively clean and will prevent your hands like getting horrible blood splatters all over your hands.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The operating doctor is also prepared. He doesn't have his traditional scrubs on, but he's got some, plain latex gloves and like non-latex gloves and a surgical mask.
Yep, and I'm also disinfecting the room and also setting up the stand of the probably last of my of my full-on anesthesia that I
Yeah,
ever will have.
This is basically all the anesthesia you're going to be able to have access to.
Yeah.
All right, let's put this kitty under.
Well,
Oh, under's a bit of an overstatement. You're going to be able to anesthetize the local area. She's going to be awake, though.
Okay. So,
Robbie, by the way, you're awake. You're drowsy as shit, and you can't feel your neck. But the old lady, the old she-devil, and the very, very little doctor with the bad attitude and the crossbow are looming over you.
alright, so,
Back in the war, we never cut anyone's neck, but whenever there was infection, we just cut that limb off.
you want to know, do I need to tell you the problem with cutting off the limb attached to her neck? I've also, by the way, made it so that she can't look down and see what I'm doing.
That's perfectly reasonable.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep talking to you while you're here, and you're gonna let me know if it gets too painful.
all right.
Priscilla, you can also assist with talking to the patient while she's being performed upon.
Oh, it's okay, honey. We'll get rid of this real quick.
Graham, begin the procedure of rolling dice.
Alright, I'm gonna do a perception medicine to make sure I can properly assess the area.
Go for it.
I rolled an 8, so
You got
that's
a pretty...
a total of 16.
Okay, no, you're fine. I thought you got a total of 8. I was like, oh, you got a pretty good idea of the general area that needs to go
No,
off.
yeah.
No, okay, yeah, you've got a good idea here.
Alright. Oh wait, no, it would have been an 18 because it's triage.
Okay, yeah, first.
And then I'm going to
This will
set
be
everything.
yeah, okay.
Isn't it
set
plus
everything
4?
I'm going to set everything out on my
No, it's plus 2.
table and properly
Okay.
anesthetize, and then I'm going to roll my dexterity medicine.
Oh, no. Here comes the fun part.
To be fair, this is the same bonus that I get with my perception. So
Okay.
and this time I rolled a 10 and an 8.
Okay, so the initial set of incisions goes incredibly cleanly. You manage to, start to work your way into the infected flesh while, effectively clamping so that it doesn't actually, she doesn't start
Bleed.
spurting blood out of her neck again.
Yeah.
In fact, you're doing so well that I'm not even going to remove life points for this, bodily damage.
Yeah. So what were you planning on doing before all this started with your life?
I was a jazz club singer at the Violets. Me and my friend who played the God damn it, why do I not have this track? Me and my friend were playing there, and it was all good.
Marcus looks down. Oh, the lilac. Yeah, I think I ran bouncing there.
You're at the edge of the door, by the way, not over the patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still looking down from where he's standing.
Oh yeah, because he's really tall.
Ever since I was there when I was 18, I've been singing there.
Yeah, I must have heard some of your songs drifting through the door.
Priscilla, I want you to roll me a quick dexterity plus medicine first aid.
Alright.
If you end up
14 in total.
Excellent. So, as Dr. Murphy begins his next set of incisions, you deftly move in to keep pressure on the areas that he's already handled. There will be no additional damage from those areas either.
Oh,
Next set of incisions, Doctor.
yeah. That time is a total of 16.
Very good. Okay. The next set of cuts goes almost as smoothly as the first, removing most of the infected tissue. There's only a little bit left at this point, but it is now the part that is no longer kind of getting around the edges, but the bit that's right into the meat of the neck, and easily the most difficult part of the surgery.
Yeah.
Another Dex plus first aid check, Belial, if you'd be so kind.
Alright.
well, 5 years I was there. She just giggles to herself just from the
I got an 11.
All right, you
Order.
succeed again.
Yeah.
Another deft motion. This time a little less careful than before, but still able to keep everything nice and held down. The doctor will be able to get at the neck without any further complications. This will now be the hardest part. You are at a -5 for this section of the surgery.
Oh,
Oh God.
Also, by the way, Vinny, you're in the building now too.
Man, it's raining cats and dogs out there.
Yeah. Haha. Total of 12.
You lucky duck. You lucky duck. Yeah, with well, I guess more winter's a lucky duck in this case.
Yeah.
So yeah, with the last set of cuts, you managed to remove the last bits of infected tissue, at least as far as you were able to tell, from the main area of the wound. Priscilla, again, one final Dex plus first aid.
Aye. 10 in total.
Perfect. Okay. And with that, Priscilla clamps off the last of the areas. It is now a relatively simple procedure that we won't even have you roll for, of closing up the wound and then stitching, rebandaging, and getting everything back into non-life-threatening order.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. Ready to close. Sew her up. Let essentially the cone that I put around her head so that she wouldn't be able to watch me. Let that just kind of sit down over her now. And fold the sheet into the stretcher. It's like, all right, we're gonna move you back to the couch so we can get the room set up.
Yeah, stronger people. This would actually be an opportunity for Vinny and Marcus. Kind of move in to assist here, and I assume you two shouldn't have any trouble moving her to the couch, right?
No.
Nah.
All right.
While I'm moving the stretcher, I'll turn to Murphy and just say, "Hey, listen, I didn't believe you when you said you were a doctor after seeing the mess in the shed, but I'm sorry about that. I have a fear of blood, you see. Ironic, considering my line of work, but
I understand. And that's not something anybody should have to witness out in that shed.
Would Priscilla have to do anything at this point?
Priscilla would probably want to go ahead and, roll me a perception plus, medicine one more time, just to kind of go over it and do a last, look over to make sure that everything is set.
Aye.
That was the cleanest surgery in Unisys.
I got a 9 in total.
Okay, excellent. So you kind of go over, and you're very careful this time. Murphy did a good preliminary look over and sewed everything up nice and cleanly. But you take the time to really kind of just go over everything. You dot up a few places where things were a little bit messy, and managed to clear out, basically thoroughly clean the surgical area so that there is no chance for further infection to take place.
Yeah. And then after that, I want to start making the honey stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like...
Okay, one last 5-minute break, and then we will reconvene for a final segment of this, and it'll be a little bit shorter, probably. But, meet back in 5 minutes, people.
Okay.
Coolio.
all right.